And most modern people, anyone who's been wearing conventional footwear from a young age, has normally got terrible foot function. So,
all right. So we talked about traditional footwear here. We talked about some of the common injuries for running, and this term functional footwear keeps coming up. And I think we're
yeah.
both talking about it like everybody listening is what that means. So
Yeah.
let's backtrack on that one. What does this term mean?
Well, Sebastian and Joe Nimble, like to think we invented the term because we were like, okay, we're not, into all shoes should be thin and flexible. We have minimal shoes because, for example, if you're running on a treadmill, you don't need a big padded shoe because the treadmill's padded. You need really thin, flexible shoes. If you're doing CrossFit or you're doing any sort of weight training, you want more proprioceptive feedback, right? So there is a place for those really minimal shoes with a wide toe box. But if you're determined to do all your training on tarmac and roads, you're going to need some form of cushioning because otherwise you're going to damage your foot and you will wear out the fat pads. The natural fat pads on your feet will wear out as well. That's what people don't understand. So we were trying to think, look, as we were talking about earlier, there is negotiables, yeah? Age, weight, terrain, how much cushioning. But the toe box, the wide anatomical toe box, is the non-negotiable. It needs to be in all footwear. So we think, right, okay, we thought we'll call it functional footwear based on the toe box. Yeah, it's got a fully functional anatomical toe box. And the rest of the function will be based on your chosen sport and the type of terrain you want to run on. So it'll be functional for what the purpose, for what the person wants to do, what sort of movement they're performing.
And that's something I want to get into too with footwear. I think one time, I think we get in as runners, we love to focus on running shoes, obviously. And we talked about the performance of running shoes and every little detail about running shoes. And we forget when we're talking about foot strength and having stronger feet. I'm not just using my feet for like my 30 minutes to an hour and a half of running workouts per day. I'm using my feet a lot more than that. So maybe you can go into this. This is much bigger than just running, and it's every day getting around. Like, how can we be strengthening our feet every day?
Well,
all day long.
This is interesting because this is, the first conversations I had with Sebastian. So his surname is Bear, and Bear Shoes is the company his father set up back in the 80s. And again, it's based on this anatomical toe box for a different population. It began with the orthopedic population, people that have real foot problems and pain. It's the same thing, and that's how, by wearing the wider toe box, the foot slowly begins to change shape, the toes become stronger and more mobile, and then slowly it begins to alleviate their pain. So that's his background, and he was thinking, this is crazy, we're not bringing this to runners, this is the whole background, if you like. So there was me with my barefoot running experience, and Sebastian with his orthopedic footwear, wide toe boxes. You were talking about how people talk, how their footwear has cured all their problems. Sebastian's father has like piles of these letters from older people that thought they wouldn't be able to walk again, etc., etc. Suddenly they're wearing the correct footwear, the toes begin, and now they're taking up hiking again. So there is those stories, yeah? And like I said, it seems, from my experience, all the benefit comes from the toe box and the toe function.